Jerusalem. Israel considers the city its eternal and undivided capital. Palestinians see it as their future capital. Jews and Arabs here inhabit separate worlds in one city. 40 years after the Mideast War, the city remains bitterly divided amid an enduring battle over land and identity. The difference in living conditions can be stark between Jewish communities and the Arab neighborhoods of East Jerusalem.
We have a very beautiful view here. It's bring here younger families. We have in the neighborhood green places. It's good for the family to come, to visit with the kids. It's very nice also.
Pisgat Ze'ev is the result of Israel's effort to build a ring around Jerusalem on the lands it captured in the 1967 war. It is now home to 40,000 Israelis, most middle class and secular. There's a mall, a community center, 15 schools, 40 parks and playgrounds, and big plans for future development.
The policy of the mayor of the city is to bring more people living in Jerusalem. So the idea is also to exploit every place in the neighborhood that you can build houses to do it. We are like the eyes of the municipality in the neighborhood. If we saw, for example, a problem in the road, a hole, we quickly give the phone, we give the call to the municipality and we say, we have a problem. We don't have to wait too much.
Not far away, Moaz Atari heads up the recently formed Wadi Joe's Neighborhood Association. He says the city is far less responsive to the needs of this neighborhood and its Palestinian residents.
For 2 years it's been like that. We complained to the municipality 1 time, 2 times, 10 times. We asked them to build a soccer field here, or at least let us build our own. They refused that recommendation because they said it was green space. It's impossible to get permission, and if you build it without permission, they'll fine you 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 shekels, and then they'll destroy it anyway.
The mayor of Jerusalem acknowledges the need for greater spending in East Jerusalem, but says the area was underdeveloped before Israel captured it and then grew too fast for the government to make up the gap. Zatari is determined to change all that for the 7,400 residents of this community just north of the Old City. There is a lack of parks, public transportation, and public schools. Stinking heaps of trash are another issue.
Every day we call them and complain about the health risk. This is what we get in exchange for the taxes we pay. This is not a civilized image of Wadi Joe's.
Heading away from the Old City, the ancient route to Jericho twists its way through East Jerusalem until it ends abruptly at the village of Abu Dis.
Before they put this wall, we have here a main road for everybody from the north to the south, to Jordan, to the Middle East. Anybody wants to travel from, he must passing from this wall.
By blocking routes that once knitted Palestinian towns into the life of Jerusalem, the barrier is cutting the city off from the West Bank.
Before the wall, we would do lots of business. Now there is none. We would do up to 800 shekels a day in business.
Initially, the barrier was a jumble of concrete blocks. It was still possible for residents to get to jobs, shops, schools, and hospitals in East Jerusalem. Now it rises 26 feet, and the nearest crossing is a journey of an hour or more. Israel says the project is making the region safer. In the 3 years before construction began on the main part around Jerusalem, more than 200 people had been killed in the city in bombings and other attacks. Since then, 31 have died.
Because the two places are very near each other, the Arabs on one side and the Jews on the other side, so we are worried, we are afraid that people will throw here stones and bottles of Molotov.
And we can see that the security fence itself has proved to us how effective it is and how it's capable of preventing of people getting injured and saves lives of hundreds of Israelis.
On a hilltop in the West Bank town of Bir Nabala, construction crews work quickly. In less than 30 minutes, 2 more sections of the barrier have been filled in. When the final phase is complete, this Palestinian town will be cut off from East Jerusalem.
From every direction, from east, from west, from south, the whole area is under siege. This area is affected more than any other in Palestine.
His fruit stand is one of the few businesses left on what used to be the main road. Thousands of residents have already left, scrambling back into Jerusalem to end up on the Israeli side. Some moved to preserve their claim to Jerusalem. Others want access to jobs, health care, and benefits that Israel provides to the city's residents. Those Arabs who remain here say the barrier has put their future in doubt. In the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, demolition crews quickly tear up the foundation of a building Israeli officials say was going up without permits. The cost of the demolition and the cleanup will be passed on to the Palestinian owner. It's a scene played out on average twice a week in East Jerusalem, and one that Kamal Sao went through last November.
Everything, the furniture, the books, the children's books, the whole world is just gone. My nerves are shot. I don't know what to do.
Kamal says 26 of his neighbors in the Bet Hanina district face the same thing. They say Israeli zoning restrictions are so severe that they have no choice but to build illegally and risk facing the bulldozer. Defiantly, he's rebuilt his house and has gotten the demolitions to stop while the city considers an appeal to legalize the area's homes. In recent years, Israeli courts have routinely delayed demolition orders against Palestinian families who apply for retroactive permits. And the demolitions have proven too costly, legally, politically, and economically, to limit the Palestinian population. From his kitchen window, Camille can see across the valley to the ultra-Orthodox Jewish neighborhood of Ramat Shlomo, where new homes fill the hillside. The gap is closing between them, and Camille knows the time will come when they will be forced to move. Until then, he continues to rebuild his house and help his children recover from the events of that day.
Every time they see the army coming, they say, "Oh no, they're coming to destroy the house. We're living in fear."
Last year, Hillel and Shlomit Mali moved into the second floor of this apartment house in the Mount of Olives neighborhood. They came here with the help of Elad, a private organization that buys Arab property to move Jews into Arab neighborhoods. Their building has one of the best views in Jerusalem.
I'm Jew, and I very love Jerusalem. I want to be a music man, I want to be a law, I have some dreams, but between my dreams, I have another dreams to live in Jerusalem, to talk about Jerusalem, to learn about Jerusalem, and also not fight.
But to Palestinians, Hillel is the face of an expanding occupation. The Malis were among the first Jews to move to this East Jerusalem neighborhood since Israel took control after the 1967 war. Their arrival here sparked riots, and their apartment is a target for stone-throwing kids. Mahmoud Abu Hawa lives in the first-floor apartment below.
These people, I don't know, I don't think they're normal. To come and live in this area between all these Arab and all these Palestinian in a village like this, and it's all family. What do you have to do here? You have the whole Israel, you left whole Israel and you came to live in this house?
Shlomit and her husband say they want to start a dialogue with their neighbors.
My parents live in Ra'anana, and when I live there, I don't see any Arabs, but when I come to here, and I see them, I live between them, I buy from them, they speak with me, I speak with them. It's a start of a friendship, of what Hillel said, listening, conversation.
Mahmoud and his mother Fatima say they have nothing to discuss.
There's no way to live with them, and especially in our houses. How could we live with them? If I go and buy a house in the Israeli side, you think they will let me live there?
Estranged neighbors clinging to competing visions that have divided the city for decades.